What if I told you the real reason that you keep failing at weight loss isn't because of the food, it's not because of your hormones, and it's not because of your willpower? It's because your why is all wrong. Today, I'm going to share the one activity I use with my clients that changes everything for them. And once you do it, you'll never approach weight loss the same way again. Hey, Lux Lifer, welcome to the podcast. If you are brand new to this, I appreciate you. I'm glad that you are here. But welcome to Stop Dying Forever. This is the podcast where we don't just lose weight, we transform from the inside out. I am your host, Jennifer Dent Brown, and today I'm talking to the woman who knows she needs to lose weight, but isn't motivated enough to see any results. So let me ask you this. If I stopped you on the street and asked you, hey, why do you want to lose weight? What would you say to me? Most people give me the same answers that I have been hearing for the past decade. I've been coaching for well over 10 years now. They'll say things like, Jennifer, I just want to lose the baby weight, even though my baby is now 15 years old. Or they'll say, Jennifer, my doctor tells me I'm pre diabetic and I've got to lose 50 pounds like immediately. Or they'll say something like, Jennifer, I felt my best 10 years ago when I was 20 pounds lighter, right? Or 30 pounds lighter. Here's the kicker. Those answers sound logical, right? But they're not actually motivating. They're just recycled reasons that you've been repeating over and over and over in your head. They're what I call surface level reasons. They don't touch your soul. And that's exactly why you keep starting and stopping, right? You start a program, you try to lose weight, then you quit. Then you go find something else and you lose some weight and then you stop again. You don't have a core why. Most people approach every new weight loss attempt the exact same way, with the same tired goal and the same shallow why. And worse off, they usually start from a negative place. Like they hate the way that they look in their clothes, they don't like the way that they feel. And so they use a diet restriction as a form of punishment. Listen, I know this is true because this is what I did for decades. I didn't like the way that I looked. I didn't like my body. I didn't like my size. I didn't like the size of clothes that I was wearing. So I would always find all of these diets to start from a place of hate, from a place of dislike. And I would go to the gym in the morning after hanging out at happy hour the night before, having a late dinner out and use it as a form of punishment. And here's what I have learned, y'all. And this is what I want to help emancipate you from. When you start something from self punishment, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who is always going to struggle with their weight because you think smaller is better, or you think there's something wrong with my body. And when that is your identity, you're always going to be on the diet pendulum. You're always going to be yo yoing with your weight because you're trying to escape yourself instead of becoming a new version of yourself. I'm going to say that again because I want to make sure that you heard it. You're trying to escape yourself instead of becoming a new version of yourself. But this is where my work is different. This is why my work is different from every other diet that you've ever tried before. I created the core why activity to flip this entire script because one, I already know what happens when you have a surface level why. And two, I've coached hundreds of women over the past 11 years and they all have a surface level why. So this core why activity is to help my clients get deeper. You're not going to find this in Weight Watchers. I'm sorry, WW. You're not going to find this in Noom. At best, other programs will just say, hey, what's your why, right? Tell me what your why is. Listen, I have been around personal development for years. And they all ask the same question, what's your why? And I would always look at them with a blank stare and be like, I don't know. This is just what I want. This is just my goal. I don't know. When a coach or when they ask you, what's your why? You give the same old answer, right? You give the same answer like, I just want to wear the clothes that I bought 10 years ago and I spent so much money on that I haven't been able to wear because they're too small. Or I just want to look good when I go back to my college reunion. But here's the thing, y'all, that surface level why is not going to carry you through the weight loss journey. And this is why I designed a process to help you uncover your true core why, the one that lives beneath all of the rehearsed answers, the one that cracks you open emotionally, the one that connects your weight loss to your deepest values, your identity, and your future. And I thought I was being genius and coming up with this myself, but there is psychology behind it. Research has shown that people who tie their goals to intrinsic motivation, to something that actually matters to them, they are more successful long term. So, in fact, there was a 12-month study where researchers found that people who aligned their weight loss goals with intrinsic goals, right, that internal reasoning, were more likely to prevent weight regain than those who were just doing it out of guilt, out of pressure, or just for external reasons. And this is why the core why activity is so freaking powerful, because when you uncover your core why, you stop pushing yourself from guilt. You start trying to do things because you feel badly about yourself, and you start pulling yourself towards your future identity, the 2.0 version of yourself. So you're like, ooh, Jennifer, this sounds good. How does it work? My private clients do this, my group clients do this, but here's how it works. First, you just start with the basic question: what is your goal? And why do you want to hit this goal? Why do you want to lose weight? And then I guide you to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And you don't just stop at the first surface level answer. I'm going to help you peel back the layers until you hit the truth that surprises even you. Now, the fun part about this is I put this into a custom GPT. I use AI to walk my clients through this process. One time we did this activity on a group call, and I've had clients cry because for the first time when they did this, they could see that this isn't about a number on the scale. This desire to lose weight is about freedom. It's about living the rest of their lives fully and not dieting endlessly. And here's a beautiful thing. When you revisit your core why daily, when you revisit it often, you let it ground you. You let it remind yourself, you let it guide your daily choices. So it's not something that you just write once and forget. It literally becomes your anchor. When you have those moments where you don't feel like planning, you don't feel like getting your movement in, you don't feel like coming to a coaching call, like it literally becomes your anchor because you're reminding your 1.0 self, your current identity of like, hey, this is not who we are anymore. We're not the person who quits anymore. This is who we're becoming. And this is why we're doing this process. That core why is amazing. The results, y'all, are incredible. One client had been with me for months as a group member, and she hadn't lost a pound. But when she finally uncovered her core why, she was one of the people we did it in a group together. Everything shifted. I could literally see her face change on the screen of my computer. She went on to lose her first 8 pounds without a diet. Mind you, she had not been able to lose any weight for months. She hit her core why, changed everything because she was no longer pushing herself anymore, right? She was being pulled forward by this deeper reason that she discovered when she did this activity. Another client discovered her core why wasn't about clothes. She thought it was. She thought it was about all of these beautiful dresses that she had in her closet that she wasn't able to wear anymore. It wasn't about numbers. It was about her honoring her future family, her future children, and honoring a loved one who had passed. So this gave her a level of commitment she never thought possible, and she never tied these things to wanting to lose weight. And then I had a client recently who summed it up perfectly. She posted in the group. She said her core why said her 50s are for living fully, not dieting endlessly. And she said, I'm ready to stop carrying this weight physically and mentally so I can finally be free. Now, she hit a wall. She started doing this activity and the resistance came up. Her brain was like, oh, what are we doing here? Her nervous system was like, I don't know what you're trying to do over here, but I don't like this core why digging around stuff. We need to go back to our 1.0 cells where it's all nice and warm and cuddly and mushy and sweet. And so she ended up like not finishing the exercise. And so when I had my call with her, I was like, how are you doing with your core why? Like, what, tell me what came up for you. And she's like, oh, yeah, I didn't finish that thing. But she was so focused on changing her sleep and working on her nutrition. And I was like, stop all the other stuff. We're going to finish your core why activity. And she did it and she hit a new reason for trying to attempt to lose weight one more time because this wasn't her first time at the rodeo, y'all. Like most of my clients, she had tried to lose weight before and had failed. This completely different ball game now that she's discovered her core why. So here's the connection that I want you to see. When you do this work, you move from dieting as punishment to weight loss as freedom. And that is a true identity shift, y'all. That is what identity-based weight loss is. Okay, so again, this is what I want you to see. Your core why is your anchor. When you discover it, it's going to be like, whoa, yes, this is my anchor. It's what keeps you emotionally invested. So you stop giving up every time life gets lifey, every time you're faced with an obstacle. Now, but here's the truth. Let me keep it real with you because I love to keep it real. You can have the deepest core why. You may have the deepest why in the world and still spin out if you don't know how to follow through consistently. You can have the deepest why and you can have your list of all the things you think you should be doing, but if consistency is an issue for you, I got something that's going to help you. My new training is here. It's called Cure Your Inconsistency in 90 Days. And you can watch it on demand. In this training, I'm going to show you the exact process, 3 steps to stop starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping. So you can finally build momentum that lasts. And when you pair your core why with your consistency, ooh, girl, that is when the magic happens. That's when weight loss stops being punishment and it literally just becomes your new lifestyle. And then since people are gonna look at you and like, girl, what you doing? You on that Ozempic? And you're like, no, I have stopped dieting forever. So I don't want you to wait another 90 days wishing you had started today. I want you to go to jenniferdent.com/cure, CURE, and get this free training. And let's put an end to your inconsistency, my friend, for good. It is 100% possible. So again, go to jenniferdent.com/cure, download the training, learn how to create consistency in the next 90 days. And then we're going to get to your core why, and you're going to be a brand new person before the end of this year. All right, y'all, live Lux, and I will see you in the next episode. Did you love today's episode? Are you loving this podcast? Then you're going to love Forever Well, which is my exclusive newsletter where I break down how to stop self-sabotaging your weight loss and reinvent yourself into the healthy, grown-ass, confident woman you know you want to be. Girl, each week I'm going to send you bold insights, real talk, because, I like to keep it real, and strategies that you can actually use to start your diet-free lifestyle straight to your inbox. Subscribe now at jenniferdent.com/email club or find the link in the show notes and start your reinvention today. Oh, and if you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review because it helps more women just like you find this life-changing work. All right, y'all. Head on over to jenniferdent.com/email club to get forever well. All right, live Lux, and I'll see you in the next episode.